Hi there folks, welcome to Studio 42, and today we're going to be designing this beautifully animated Neumorphic Sci-Fi slide. So let's not waste any time and jump right into it. So let's start by taking a look at the various elements on this slide. We have the background with these shapes cut out into it. Then we have the neumorphic text. Then we have these depressed shapes to create contrast against the text. We have these rotating elements around the slide. And finally, in the background, we have these gradient colors moving across the slide. So let's begin by opening a new slide, and let's start by designing the background shape first of all. So let's draw a rectangle and remove the shape outline. Let's right click on it, go to Format Shape. Let's give it a pattern fill. We'll choose the first pattern itself. For the background color, let's choose gray. And for the foreground color, for the dots, let's choose white. So it's a slightly textured background, but it's not very prominent. Now that we have this basic shape ready, let's create the stencil cutouts. So I'm just going to duplicate this slide. Go to Shapes and find the block arc. Let's drag it across the slide and use the yellow nodes to make it really thin. Remove the shape outline. Let's duplicate this and let's flip it. Now let's adjust the placement of both the circles so there's just a little bit of a gap between the two. So it should look something like this. And let's draw a few more elements around the slide. So I'll draw a circle and a small connecting rectangle. I'll make sure the shape outline is removed. And we can make a few modifications from what we saw in the original slide. So I'm going to end this in a circle as well. Select all these shapes that we've made, group them. Let's duplicate the shape and let's rotate it. Then let's adjust it over to the other side of the circle. You can use your arrow keys to make any fine adjustments necessary. Let's select all the shapes that we've created. Make sure the background is not selected. Let's group them all and make sure they're all aligned to the center of the slide. And then let's go ahead and ungroup all the shapes. Let's make sure each individual shape is now ungrouped. Then let's select our background, press Ctrl, and one by one select all the shapes that we've created. Let's go over to Shape Format, go to Merge Shapes, and let's click on Subtract. And these shapes are now cut out from the background and are completely transparent. So we can just test that out by drawing another rectangle and sending it to the back. So that's what it looks like. And of course, depending on the type of presentation or design that you're working with, you can add all kinds of shapes to customize the design to suit your needs. The next thing we should do is select our background shape, go to Shadows, and give it an outer offset bottom shadow so that it creates a slightly 3D effect which separates it from the background. Now that we have our background ready, let's move on to step 2, which is creating the text. So I'll just make a copy of the original slide we created and I'll add some text to it. Once you have your text typed in and ready, with your fonts all set up, we'll now render these text boxes uneditable by converting them into shapes. So let's draw a rectangle behind the studio text. Send it to back. Let's select our rectangle and then the text. Go to Merge Shapes and Intersect. Similarly, let's draw another rectangle behind 42 and also intersect it. So now the two text boxes have become shapes. Then let's click on our background and then go to Format Painter, click on Format Painter and transfer the same formatting to the studio text. Now the studio text is completely camouflaged. Then in the pattern fill, let's change the pattern to dotted 20%. And let's go to Format Painter again and give the same format to the 42. Now it may not be clearly visible, but the text is slightly standing out from the background. So let's select the studio text. Let's make another copy of it. I can remove this so the text is visible. In the first copy, let's go to Shadows and give it an outer bottom right shadow. Let's increase the blur a bit, as well as the transparency and the size by 1%. Similarly, let's give another shadow to the second shape. This time, let's offset it by top left and change the shadow color to white. Let's bring our background back up. Let's increase the size of the white and decrease its blur a bit. Let's select both and align them to center and align them to middle. So now we have the extruding text. Let's group both these boxes together and let's take a look in full screen. And that looks really beautiful. But I should point out one important factor here. The screen recording software is rendering the look a little differently from what is visible on PowerPoint. So I think I'll give you a download file along with this tutorial so you can see the actual look of the text and the background textures. And now that we have our first text box ready, let's apply the same formatting to the second text box with the number 42 on it. So that's quite easy to do. All we need to do is ungroup the studio boxes again, separate the two, make another copy of the 42 text. Let's select the Format Painter from the first box and apply it to the first 42 box. And similarly the Format Painter from the second studio box to the second 42 box. Then let's overlap them once again, align to center and align to center for 42 as well. And also let's make sure they're aligned to middle just in case. Let's take a quick peek in full screen. And that looks really nice. So that was step 2. And now for step 3, we'll be creating these caved in contrasting circles that are behind the text. So let's start that by opening a new slide. Let's make a circle shape. And as always, let's remove the outline. Let's fill this with the gray that we've been using throughout. And then let's give it a shadow. This time we'll be using an inner shadow for the top left. And let's format this by increasing the blur to roughly 20 points, and let's increase the distance so the shadow is visible only from the top left. We can increase the blur a little more, and if necessary, let's give it a little bit of transparency as well. Now let's duplicate this circle, drag it over to the right, and in the shadow options, let's change the angle to 45 degrees and the shadow color to white. But of course, if we just place this circle over the previous one, it'll cover the shadow up. So we need to add a little transparency to our new circle as well. So let's go to fill options and do a gradient fill. Let's adjust our gradient stops and change the angle to 45 as well. The first gradient stop should be gray, the same gray that we've been using. The second will also be gray. The third will also be gray. And finally the fourth should be white. Now the first gradient stop, increase the transparency to at least 60 to 70%. Now if we place this over, it covers up a little bit of the shadow, but you can still see the effect. So if you group these two circles together and bring them over to our textured slide, immediately you can see the caved in effect. So if you make it smaller and send it behind the text. And that's a really quick and easy way of making these neumorphic shapes. So I'll delete this from here for now. We'll leave this circle as is. So on to step number 4. Step number 4 will be adding the holographic gradients that we have running in the background of the slide. So some months ago, I made a video on how to make these holographic gradients, which are inspired by the Aurora UI trend. So if you'd like to learn how to make those, I'll link the video for you to check out. But for the purposes of today's tutorial, I'll simply be copy-pasting what I've already created. So I'll do a Ctrl-A to make sure that all the shapes are selected, and then copy and paste them to my stencil cutout slide. Having done that, I simply right-click and send to back. Next, let's bring our text boxes onto the main slide as well, and then our caved in circles. And there we go. Now, if we would like to decorate this slide even more, we can add further shapes. So I'll show you how I did that. Let's select the plus sign, remove its outline, make it really thin. Let's change its color to say a pink. And let's go to animations and select one of our holographic shapes. Click on Animation Painter and then click on the new shape. Let's adjust the size and positioning of this and make a few copies and place it around the slide. So now let's take a look at it. And that's visually really stunning. So you can use this method to create all sorts of really interesting and dynamic neumorphic designs and hopefully wow your audience. If you find this content helpful or would like to download the practice file, do be nice and leave a like. Thank you for watching, and remember to keep on creating.